Build Unshakable Trading Discipline in 30 days. The screen flashes green, then red. Your plan says one trade, small size, walk away if it fails. But the second you stop out, your pulse climbs, your mouse floats, and a different plan takes over. The one that wants revenge, heat, action. Here is one neutral observation to start us off. Most of the damage in a trader's month happens in a handful of minutes when discipline slips. This episode is how we fence those minutes off and build a spine you can trust. Quick note before we go any further. This is educational, not financial advice. Use your own judgment and protect your capital. Thesis: belief before button. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is a daily environment you build around your future self. Over the next 30 days, you will install that environment. Habits, guardrails, and accountability in layers. The payoff is identity level. You will start to see yourself as the kind of trader who can feel fear, greed, or FOMO, and still execute the smallest possible correct action. If you have tilted like this, follow, so this reset shows up before your next open. Proof montage. Story 1. A new futures trader wins 3 mornings in a row, sizes up on day 4, and gives back the week in 20 minutes. Lesson: size amplifies emotion before it amplifies edge. Story 2. A swing trader journals only on green days. He does not see that every big drawdown starts after 3 wins. When he adds a cool-down rule after streaks, his red weeks shrink by half. Lesson: discipline is timing plus rules. Story 3. A veteran short seller keeps a good loss tally on his whiteboard. Every clean stop earns 1 check mark. Confidence returns, not because the market got easier, but because he rebuilt trust with himself. Lesson: praising process grows the behaviors you need. Mirror turn. Ask yourself, do you believe you can control outcomes or do you believe you can control actions? Mark Douglas calls it the probability mindset. You never need this trade to work. You need to execute your plan across many trades. One term. Defined simply. R is the money you plan to risk on a trade if the idea fails. Position sizing is how big you trade relative to that planned risk and your account size. Edge means a repeatable set of conditions where your method has historically performed. We keep the words simple because your rules must be simple enough to run under stress. Here is your 30-day build, broken into 4 weeks. Each week has 1 identity shift, 1 ritual, and 1 hard rule. Keep a notebook. Tape the rules to your screen. Do not add more. Just do these exactly. Week 1. Control the open. Control the day identity shift. You are the trader who earns the right to click. You do not sit down and trade. You run a pre-market checklist, then you trade. Ritual. The 2-page start. Page 1. Plan. Levels, catalysts, and what would invalidate your idea. Page 2. Constraints. Today's maximum. Loss, maximum number of trades, and your micro triggers for stopping. Write them by hand. Hard rule, the 2-gate rule. Gate 1 is the plan. No trade unless it matches a written setup. Gate 2 is the breath. 1 slow inhale, 1 slow exhale, then click or pass. If you cannot slow your breath for 5 seconds, you cannot take risk. Micro rule, inside the story. If your heart rate is up at the open, your first trade is half size by default. Praise any clean pass that protects capital. Say the words out loud. A good no trade is still a good decision. I will show you the one habit that flips overconfidence after hot streaks. Keep listening. Week 2. Size does not lead. Process leads identity shift. You are the trader who lets size follow clarity, never the other way around. Ritual. The Walkaway Timer. After any stop out, set a 5-minute timer. Stand up. Water, breath. Observe the tape without touching the mouse. When the timer ends, you may re-enter only if a fresh plan is written. Hard rule. The fixed risk ladder. Day 2 through day 14. Cap each trade at 1/2 R until you have 5 consecutive days without breaking rules. Only then may you step to 1 R. If you break a rule, drop down 1 rung for the next 2 sessions. Call out. Douglas teaches probability. Brett Steenbarger teaches self-coaching. Jack Schwager spots the pattern in winners. Survive first, then scale. Micro rule. Size increases only after clean behavior, not after wins. Week 3. Make losing a skill identity shift. You are proud of exits taken on time. You still like winning, but you respect clean losses even more. Ritual. The 2-sentence debrief 3 times a day. Midday, close, evening. Sentence 1. One thing I did right. Sentence 2. One thing I will do 1% better tomorrow. That is it. Hard rule. The good loss quota. Each session, aim for at least one example of a good loss. And exit at plan without hesitation. Mark one check on a sticky note. 3 checks in a week earns a tiny reward of your choice that is not trading related. A playlist, a walk somewhere new, a meal you enjoy. Micro rule. Never call it a small loss, call it a good loss. Clear language trains clear behaviour. As Steenbarger would say, reinforce the pattern you want by catching it in the act. Week 4. Build a life that makes discipline easier. Identity shift. You are an athlete of risk. Athletes arrange life to support performance, sleep, food, movement, social time, and review. Ritual. The evening board. Before bed, prepare tomorrow's board in 5 lines. Market context. Your one best setup. Worst case if wrong. Stop level in dollars. And your maximum daily loss. Then place the mouse out of reach. Hard rule. The circuit breaker. After any 2-rule violation in one session, stop trading for the day. After any day you hit your maximum loss, stop for 48 hours and complete a written review before returning. Micro rule. Discipline is not willpower. It is removing decisions when you are hot or cold. The breaker is your off switch. Let us stitch the weeks into a daily flow you can actually run. Daily flow, minutes 1 through 30. Arrive. No screens for the first 3 minutes. Open your notebook to yesterday's 2 sentences. Write today's maximum loss and maximum trades in words, not numbers. Quick body scan. Jaw relaxed, shoulders down, feet on the floor. Now open charts. Mark overnight levels, locate the day's catalyst and write your plan on page 1. On page 2, write your constraints. Place a sticky note with half-size first trade if pulse is high. 1 breath before any click. Minutes. 30 through 90. Execute slowly. If you take a stop, run the Walkaway Timer. If you take a win, log 3 words describing the setup, so your brain learns what green feels like without chasing it. Midday. 2 sentences. If you are up on the day, switch to protect mode. Only take A setups that survive your 2-gate rule. If you are down on the day, consider whether your energy and clarity are rising or falling. If falling, take pride in shutting down early. Praise the no trade. Close. 2 sentences. Score yourself on behaviour, not P&L. Breath before click, yes or no. Good loss taken, yes or no. Circuit breaker. Honoured, yes or no. Mark 1 check for the good loss if earned. Evening. The board. Put your mouse away. The day ends when the board is ready, not when the market closes. Now let us widen the lens. Discipline fails for 3 core reasons: heat, hurry, and hope. Heat is physiological, heart rate up, arousal high. Hurry is cognitive, scarcity mindset, I will miss it. Hope is identity, refusing to be wrong. Your plan attacks each. Heat. You reduce heat by making the first trade smaller and forcing breath before action. You also exit the chair after a stop to drop arousal. A slow exhale lengthens the pause between impulse and action. Hurry. You beat hurry with the 2-gate rule and the Walkaway Timer. If the setup really is high quality, it will present again. If it does not, your next, better trade shows up tomorrow. Hope. You train identity by celebrating good losses and writing 2 sentences that praise process. You stop needing to be right, you need to be consistent. The one habit that flips over confidence is the streak rule. After 2 consecutive wins, the next trade must be half size or a pass unless it is your single best setup, written and rehearsed. Reduce size after heat, not after pain. It is counterintuitive, and that is why it works. Common friction points you will hit and how to cross them. I do not have time to write. The 2 pages take 5 minutes when repeated daily. You do not write essays, you write bullets. 5 minutes of pen saves 5 hours of tilt. I freeze on exits. Preload the language you will say at the stop. Price hit the area that proves the idea wrong. Exit now. Your mouth leads your hand, then log it as a good loss. I keep moving my stop. Move your seat instead. When tempted, stand up. If you truly see new information, rewrite the plan. If not, honor the original risk. Your body is your circuit breaker. I overtrade after the first loss. That is why the Walkaway Timer exists. Honor it once and you will feel the craving pass like a wave. Craving always feels permanent. It never is. I size up too fast after wins. Use the fixed risk ladder. Size increases only after clean behavior across days, not after green P and L. Small coach notes from the books. Douglas. The market owes you nothing. Each trade is just one more of many. That frees you to take the smallest correct action now. Steenbarger. You are your own coach. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best trainee. Specific, short, process-focused. Schwager. The market wizards survived, then thrived. They cut risk when uncertain and pressed only when conditions aligned with their tested edge. Keep your survival switches on. 7 micro rules to tape on your monitor. 1. One breath before button. 2. Half size first trade if pulse is high. 3. After any stop, 5 minutes away from the mouse. 4. After 2 wins, the next trade is half size or pass unless it is your A setup. 5. 1 good loss earns 1 check. 3 checks earn a small reward. 6. 2 rule breaks trigger a day stop. Hitting max loss triggers a 48-hour pause. 7. 2 sentences 3 times a day. Keep them brutally short. By day 10, you will notice your mornings feel calmer. By day 15, you will have stories of good losses that once would have spiraled. By day 20, you will find that the act of writing your plan reduces noise. By day 30, you will not feel invincible. You will feel trusted by your future self. That is better. Confidence that comes from control over actions survives any outcome. If this already lowered your pulse, type reset before I click so you remember it when it counts. Troubleshooting the tough days. There will be a session where you break a rule. Do not hide it. Write exactly what happened in 2 lines. Trigger, action. Then circle the smallest environment change that would have prevented it. Example. Trigger, loss followed by chase. Action, took second trade without breath. Fix, sticky note on monitor says breathe or pass. The next day, make that sticky note your first ritual. Another tough day. Boredom. You will feel the itch to create action. Remember, you do not get paid for activity, you get paid for selectivity. To exit boredom, run a curiosity loop for 5 minutes. Explore one chart's higher time frame and find one thing you have not noticed before. Name it out loud. Curiosity dissolves boredom without risking capital. Final stitching. The plan is your shield, the breath is your gate, the ladder is your path, the breaker is your guard. You are building a life that makes the right choice obvious and the wrong choice hard. The market will still throw storms at you. Discipline does not stop the storm. It keeps your boat upright through it. Loop close. Remember our opening? The plan said 1 trade, small size, walk away if it fails. 30 days from now, the same stop out happens. Your jaw relaxes, your hand moves to the timer, not the buy button. You stand, you drink water. You watch price without touching it. And then, either you reset and re-enter on a fresh plan, or you end the day proud of a good loss and a kept promise. That is unshakable. Discipline. Trust earned in tiny actions. If this helped you breathe again, subscribe and meet me next time for Size Kills Confidence, 3 Rules to Stop Overtrading.